It should come as no surprise that 12 Texas abortion mills were caught violating some very serious laws. But then again, those who make their living killing innocent unborn babies aren't known for their ethics. My guests today say that this is only scratching the surface. Stay tuned as we find out what their undercover investigation revealed. Troy Newman is the president of Operation Rescue, the group that spearheaded the investigation of 12 abortion facilities in Texas. Under Troy's leadership, Operation Rescue has become focused and strategic in exposing the abortion industry's seedy and often illegal activities.
Operation Rescue, as many people know, was forged in the late 80s. Civil disobedience. If abortion was murder, then we need to act like it. And we sat in front of these abortion clinic doors, blocking the women from coming in and destroying their children. Well, I came in around 1991 and was immediately arrested, incarcerated. And I remember in the early 90s sitting there in jail thinking there's got to be a better way, because jail really stinks. Jail's for the abortionists. And we saw these abortionists and what they were doing, the atrocities that they were committing in Southern California. And I decided that we're going to reshape the organization to put the abortionists behind bars where they deserve. And Christians, the peaceful, nonviolent Christians, need to stay outside of jail and use our time and resources more appropriately, strategically, and efficiently.
Carol Everett, a former abortion mill owner, is now the president of the Heidi Group. It's an organization dedicated to helping women with unplanned pregnancies making positive choices for themselves and their babies. As someone who knows the abortion business, Carol's been an integral partner in Operation Rescue's investigations. The evidence of violations they've uncovered has been vast and shocking.
We had a call from Operation Rescue late last year talking about the fact that they had an employee in South Texas who had on her own decided to go into an abortion clinic and found some grave violations. She found a filthy clinic, she found HIPAA violations, and it was just like that opened the door for me to start thinking about the other 46 abortion clinics, or there are a total of 46 abortion clinics in Texas, and what we would find if we went in there. So we brought in 2 young women from California. They were willing to go into the abortion clinics and be very aggressive. We did not lie. We didn't say they were pregnant. We went in and said, if I were pregnant, or I think I might be pregnant. And we went in 12 abortion clinics and found incredible violations of the law and of the informed consent law and the way women were being mistreated even today in the abortion clinics.
We look at these abortion clinics, particularly the ones that we investigated, as low-lying fruit. You can literally go up and grab the fruit right off the tree and see the underbelly of the abortion industry. What we found was, in essence, just kind of broad categories. Illegal dumping of medical waste, including biohazard waste, aborted babies, the illegal dumping of controlled substances, drugs that were literally left in the garbage cans that anybody could obtain access to. Just complete negligence. On top of that, we found extreme abuses of HIPAA violations. And these are the most personal medical records and information that women would give to their physicians. Names, birth dates, addresses, blood type, gestational age of the baby, the type of abortion procedure they had. All of this information was just, again, readily accessible to the public.
When we return, we'll meet one of the brave women who visited the abortion mills and hear how she went about collecting evidence.
Look around you. We're surrounded by people who courageously face difficult obstacles life has thrown in their paths. Tune in each week to meet people who show there are positive, godly solutions to tough, critical situations. This Emmy Award-winning show tackles challenging life issues such as abortion, stem cell research, and adoption, and shows every human life is valuable and precious. Join us for inspiring stories of people facing life head-on.
24-year-old Deborah Myers has been volunteering for Operation Rescue for the past 5 years, but she became involved in the Texas investigations by accident. While witnessing with her sisters and friends in McAllen, Texas, they stumbled across some unsettling garbage outside of an abortion facility.
We decided to walk past the abortion clinic, which is right about a block away from where we were witnessing. And as we were walking by, we noticed that the dumpsters there on public property were open, and they had a lot of interesting looking contents, a lot of trash and sort of papers and bloody looking bags. And so we decided to stop and investigate a little bit, and then we reported what we had found to our friend Troy Newman at Operation Rescue, and he said, "Hey, this looks like there's some illegal stuff going down there. Would you like to be part of an investigation to investigate this chain of abortion clinics?" And we said, "Definitely."
What steps did you go through to gather information?
We decided that we would start looking at that abortion clinic itself. That was the first one we investigated in downtown McAllen. And we made phone calls to the clinic to see what kind of services they offered, whether or not they were compliant with age laws in terms of parental consent, parental notification.
We actually purchased took very little money, but we purchased some recording equipment. And today you can buy pens and all sorts of things that have video recorders and tape recorders in them. And they went into the clinics and they were writing and moving their pen around and getting a better view, and so we recorded everything.
Video recordings?
Video recordings.
With audio?
With audio,
oh.
Yes. And then we also recorded all the telephone calls. And then when they went into a clinic and they found something, they would take pictures. And then if they found something in the trash can, they labeled everything and kept it separate, kept it all together. And when we found babies' body parts, they were put in freezers to keep cold until the investigation was completed.
What did you do with all the evidence you found?
First, we kept that all, and we looked up online according to regulations, how are you supposed to keep this? How are you supposed to turn it in? And so then we took all that evidence, all the body parts, all the tools, bloody tools not properly disposed of, and then all the patient medical records, we took that up with us to Austin. When we presented the evidence to the Attorney General, the Texas Medical Board, and the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality.
If you want to know the truth, I was surprised by what we found. I know how bad the abortion industry is, and I know they're willing to bend the laws, but I was shocked that they were willing to risk the health of women and the public the way they are.
What shocked you the most of everything?
The lack of HIPAA violations, compliance. You know, we ran a small prenatal clinic, a charity prenatal clinic, and we would never let a receipt with anyone's name or a medical record be found, and yet we found those in every trash can we went in.
So you pro-lifers, made sure that their identities remain confidential through all this?
We made certain women's identification was protected, and we also protected the baby's body parts that we found.
And there were many of those?
Many of those. That's another thing, they were just throwing them in the trash.
Babies' bodies?
Babies' bodies and babies' body parts.
Troy, did you investigate the abortionists themselves?
We do investigate abortionists. We actually have a long list of abortionists and their malpractice and negligence lawsuits, people that they have killed, and other areas they've run afoul of the law. We keep track of it, and we make sure that when we find out about something else they've done, that we package all of that together and remind the Board of Medicine or the Attorney General or the District Attorney of all the things they've done.
You referred to the HIPAA law violations. What specifically did you experience, say, with parental consent or statutory rape situations? Any specifics there?
The one instance that we had that was a clear violation of failure to provide information to the state about a possible child rape was when we had a woman call actually in Spanish saying that her boyfriend is over 18 and she's a minor and she needs to get an abortion. They were more than happy to refer this woman outside the state of Texas to an abortion clinic just across the border in New Mexico. So we translated that and brought that to the state's attention, and that case is actually, I think, one of the ones that the state is vigorously investigating. That abortionist could lose his license, and it's something we're praying and working very hard for.
In a moment, we'll hear about the ramifications Operation Rescue's efforts have had on the Texas abortion industry.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
Operation Rescue uncovered appalling violations by Texas abortion mills. While they had concrete evidence, Troy Newman and Carol Everett were unsure of what kind of pushback they might receive from the media and pro-abortion community. But it's been minimal, and they've seen their hard work come to fruition with ramifications for the facilities that have been breaking the law. Did you get any pushback from those who work in the abortion facilities themselves?
You know, it's interesting, the one entity that we had more experience than anything else with, the Whole Women's Health, they initially dropped a press release saying that Operation Rescue was kind of at it again. We didn't know what we were talking about. And then we saw another press release coming out saying that there might have been a few things, but still Operation Rescue are a bunch of domestic terrorists. They don't know what they're talking about. And then the fines start coming down. And then the disciplinary hearings began, and we're still in the midst of those. And then the press releases started to diminish, and you start seeing some of the backwater emails saying that we're in a lot of trouble. And this is the worst attack that they've ever been under in 40 years of providing abortion services.
We already know that we cost the abortion industry $83,000 just in fines to the Texas Environmental Commission. And we also know that 10 abortionists have had to hire attorneys at probably about $5,000 each. So we're costing them some money. But the other thing is, it's more important to make them take care and follow the laws, and that's my prayer that they will do that. And that's what we're going to work to do.
What kind of ramifications for the community do you think will come out of this investigation?
I would pray that, first of all, the community would be protected, that they would not be putting urine cups and disposing of biohazard materials in the trash. And I certainly hope that they will not be disposing of babies' body parts, but the public does not seem to be aware of what's happened. But I think that if we continue to do this, how can they ignore it? And if we go in all 46 and find the same violations, that's powerful.
What conclusions can be drawn as a result of your investigation?
I think the ultimate conclusion is that the abortion clinics that we found in violation in the state of Texas are not an anomaly. They were randomly checked with a very small budget by people on a very small time frame. It's a lot like Gosnell, the horrible abortion clinic that was found in Pennsylvania. These are not anomalies. This is happening in abortion clinics around the country. And if we investigate them and we open up their doors and actually look at what's going on, we will see violations of the law, we'll see areas of health codes that have been violated, environmental standard codes that are being violated every single day, and I believe we can shut them down with just enforcement and regulation.
Carol, as a former abortion facility owner and operator, do you think that any of the violations you've uncovered here in Texas are being repeated throughout the nation?
Everywhere. The abortion industry does not follow a law unless someone enforces it. They hide behind privacy and they violate women every day. And the house of horrors we saw in Pennsylvania is probably happening in several other states. And I believe that anywhere they do big baby abortionists, you have the potential for a house of horrors.
Supposedly, this chain of abortion clinics that we specifically investigated is supposed to be one of the best, highly regarded abortion clinic chains in all of Texas, if not the nation. And you see what they're doing wrong, and it has serious ramifications for the entire abortion industry.
It's our job as pro-lifers to investigate the abortion industry. We can't expect the public to do it. We can't expect the medical community to do it. We can't even expect the authorities to do it. So it's our job to keep the pressure on, to make certain that if a woman walks through that door, as bad as it is and as badly as we do not want her to walk through, she must have a higher standard of care. And abortionists are violating her at every level and not even offering her the standard of the care they claim.
So in reality, it's the pro-lifers who are looking out for the well-being of women?
Yes, as always, with our network of pregnancy centers and with our network of organizations that investigate abortion clinics too.
Coming up, what's next for Operation Rescue?
Look around you. Every day, heroes abound in our country. We're surrounded by people who courageously face difficult obstacles life has thrown in their paths. Tune in each week to meet people who show there are positive, godly solutions to tough, critical situations. We'll tackle challenging life issues such as abortion, stem cell research, adoption, and abstinence, and show that every human life is valuable and precious. Join us for inspiring stories of people facing life head-on.
Operation Rescue's investigations unearthed a lengthy list of illegal activity, severe HIPAA violations, defiance of laws regarding statutory rape and parental consent, illegal dumping of biohazardous materials, and more. The investigative team believes if these laws are being blatantly violated in numerous Texas mills, they're most likely being broken elsewhere. Operation Rescue's mission is clear: to continue to investigate and expose abortion mills across the country that are violating the law. Troy, what's next for Operation Rescue?
We're in the process of kind of renaming ourselves as Pro-Life Nation. You see, we've gone from, in 1991, being around maybe 25% of the nation's populace self-identifying as pro-life to being a pro-life nation here in 2011, 2012. We want to kind of spearhead or help spearhead the investigations into the abortion industry, put more abortion clinics out of business. I may not be living in Washington and casting a vote to defund Planned Parenthood. I may not be able to be the president to sign the executive order on the Mexico City policy, but I can do a little bit. And I can do a little bit in this community, and in this community, and in this community. And when abortion clinics close, babies are saved. That's the bottom line. When abortion clinics close, babies are saved.
Deborah, what's next for you with Operation Rescue?
A lot more investigations and a lot more looking into the activities of abortion clinics all across the country and seeing if we can't find the truth out about these clinics and stop abortion and save lives.
For those young people who may be watching this program and would like to get involved in the pro-life movement, what advice would you have for them?
Well, first of all, find out what opportunities are available in your own community. Many communities have pro-life organizations that they can volunteer with. Many communities have abortion clinics that you can go down and pray and offer assistance to women or that are entering. And basically, if you have a will to help, there's always a way to help.
Carol, what's your message to women who may be watching this program and may be facing a decision whether or not to have an abortion? What do you want them to know about the abortion industry?
Abortionists don't care about women. If they did, they'd offer the choice of life as well as the choice of abortion. But abortionists work on a straight commission. Just like I did, they only make money if they do that abortion. So their motivation is going to be to sell that abortion. And they operate in back alley abortion facilities because they still do not have the clean facilities. They're still not operating in medical buildings. They're operating on the edge of society. And unfortunately, women die. And I can tell you that women die in abortions.
Do you think it's a matter of time before dirt surfaces on other abortion facilities?
I think it's not only a matter of time, but it's going to be a matter of hard work and interest. But we need to be more strategic-minded. And this is just encouragement for all of us. It's an encouragement for me. I wake up every morning and I think of how can I be a thorn in the side of the abortion industry today? How can I put an abortion clinic out of business today?
I think we're in a place